I think it helps them translate what they're doing as a student, which is learning the notes, plotting, learning the finger positions, doing all the donkey work, and now to come and play with an orchestra, I think it's a different dimension altogether. I think that's where they can learn the passion of music rather than just the ABCs. It's where they learn to be expressive, you know, from the heart.
If I had been given the experience that they're getting when I was their age, I would certainly have appreciated it. But on the other hand, you have to be ready for what kids bring. They bring all kinds of things sometimes you don't expect.
And to get some hands-on mentoring to advance that process is quite valuable.
Kids are really lucky to get this kind of experience. Most of the time people learn how to play an instrument and they take lessons and they don't get to play with a group until they're about 16 or 17. Our kids here are learning the real stuff at the age of 12 and 13 and they're incredible.
I think that it's good for them to have repetitive practice like this early in their lives. It's going to pay off for sure when they get older.
It gives me fulfillment, and again, it's rewarding for these students to develop, and it's so lovely to see how they develop as not only as musicians but as people, and also working with a range of ages and backgrounds. I think it's very inspiring.
There's a lot of personal satisfaction that comes with that.
I think it's a two-way street. We teach each other. Sometimes I'm wondering if I'm teaching them anything, but then I notice small changes here and there, and you know, at first I start talking away about something that I'm excited about, and I think I get looks like, ooh, she's got two heads, and then gradually I feel like I'm making inroads, and there becomes a rapport. So.
I mean, there's many things that they have taught me. All little bits have helped me build my foundation as a musician. That's one of the reasons why I enjoyed what the Kindred Spirits Orchestra does. It allows me to immerse myself into a professional environment, and I think that not only improves my individual playing as a cellist, but also helps my collaboration with others.
I think the best experience I've had is the opportunity to play with musicians far more talented than I am, which is really an experience you can't get anywhere else but the KSO.
Usually older musicians, they have a lot more experience and are more knowledgeable than younger musicians, and they also have a different kind of maturity that younger musicians can learn from.
From playing with experienced players around in the orchestra, I felt like that I learned a lot from them, especially like bowing directions is very important, as well as like fingering positions, and just when to look up to the conductor. It just becomes a habit of yours, which is really great.
It's the first time I've been in a symphony orchestra, so it's nice getting suggestions from Carmen, because he's been in this group since it began, and he's taught me a lot about, I guess, just being confident and, you know, just playing my best and playing out for the, you know, concerts.
Playing with an orchestra is very different from playing alone. I've been playing all these years with my teacher, but being able to play with all these experienced musicians, it shows you an extra dimension of music, and being able to be playing around these people, you can really improve your technique and also learn some new skills as well.
I was absolutely amazed at how the goals and accomplishments of the Kindred Spirits Orchestra touch upon so many of our strategic plans and goals at the City of Markham. And the orchestra really puts Markham on the map as a world-class city, and it's really the heart and soul of our city.
I think it's important that younger musicians get alongside with older musicians like myself, because we share our experience and our expertise, and we can help them with musical and technical difficulties. And also, I believe it's so important to invest in youth because they're the future musicians.
There are orchestras that are professional and they do professional jobs, but an orchestra which is a community orchestra serves so many purposes. For the amateur musician to just play as best as they can, for the student to improve and maybe launch into their career, and then also to give something back to the community.
KSO is a great way to meet friends and play on a regular bass and prepare really good concerts with, in a great hall with a great everything.
It's incredibly important to have an orchestra like KSO, one because of the leadership and the management of it, which encourages the very best of us working together, a high standard of playing and dedication. Everyone works hard, inspires a really good work ethic, and also musicality and developing our expertise in our areas, and it's just fun to play.
Classical music definitely as a genre is, I believe in our society, often underappreciated. So I think a community orchestra like the Kindred Spirits Orchestra is really interesting because it involves people of all ages, from youth all the way to much older musicians. And so the Kindred Spirits Orchestra, I think, is important in just preserving this genre of music in our society.
Give music back to a community like Markham. It's a lot of fun, and it's good experience for all ages, I think.
Classical music has been around a long time ago, so I think it's very important to keep that culture around with us. And there's many people who enjoy classical music. I think it's very important for Markham to have a professional orchestra that plays classical music.
Yeah, it's important to have orchestras like the KSO, because it's only through orchestras that the tradition of classical music can be preserved.
I think it's very important for communities to have artistic involvement, not just economic involvement, and I think it contributes to the life of the community.
I shudder to think of what the culture of this country would be if we didn't have them, and we certainly don't have enough, and we need more.
I would like to thank Maestro Alexander and the KSO for bringing these different idioms and the cultures behind them to Markham and the Greater Toronto area. As Consul General of Germany, I would therefore like to thank everybody at the KSO for conveying our European cultures to you, the audience.